यस्य प्रसादा भगवत् प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादा न गति कुटोपि ध्यायामस्तु वंस्तस्य यशस्त्रि संध्यम वंदे गुरो श्री चरणारविंदम श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री गुरुदेव। Let us now proceed to text number 42 from the chapter Spiritual Masters of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Text number 42. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु स्वयं भगवान तान्ह पदारविंदे अनंत प्रणाम। Translation: Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of Godhead himself, and therefore I offer innumerable prostrations at his lotus feet. After having described the Panchatattva in the previous verses, the author pays obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu represents the highest avatara of its kind in the Kali Yuga. There are some Yuga avatars who advent from time to time. The Lord takes various forms in each of the Yugas. In the first two Yugas of Satyuga and Treta Yuga, he took the form of a white boar and a red boar respectively. In the Dwapar Yuga, he took the form of Sri Krishna, who is black in color, and in the Kali Yuga, he has taken the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is yellowish golden in color. Thus, the Lord advents in various colors in various Yugas as Yuga Avatara. Text 43. Savarane Prabhura Kariya Namaskar Ye Chaya Teho Yache Kariya Vichar. Translation: Having offered obeisances unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these 6 diversities in one. It is to be remembered that the Lord always advents with his paraphernalia and his devotees. The eternal devotees of the Lord are supposed to be worshipped along with the Lord. The Lord sends his devotees before his arrival so that the right context is set in the material world before his own incarnation. Text 44. Yadyapi Amar Guru Chaitanya Radas Tatapi Janiye Ami Thara Prakash. Translation: Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. In this verse, the author Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami praises his spiritual master and considers him to be an expansion of the Lord himself. The position of the spiritual master is of highest importance in spiritual life. The spiritual master, according to the Shastras, is considered to be the direct expansion of the Lord. So, when one takes shelter of the spiritual master, one has to bear in mind that he is taking shelter under the Lord himself. Though the spiritual master is not directly the Lord, he is an expansion of the Lord. Thus, the spiritual master is not different from the Lord, but not same as the Lord. The ideal spiritual master is one who considered himself as a fallen devotee of the Lord and always engages in the service of the Lord in such a way that he encourages other living entities to serve the Lord in the best possible manner. The spiritual master never claims himself to be the Lord or never demands his own worship. The spiritual master is very sensitive to his own devotional service to the Lord and teaches his disciples how to engage in bhajana in the best possible manner. The spiritual master is always to be revered and considered once all by the disciple. An ideal disciple is one who considers the spiritual master as the Lord himself. The disciple who surrenders to the spiritual master in the mood that other than the spiritual master, there is nobody who can guide his way to the Supreme Lord. The disciple does not make differences between the instructing spiritual master and the initiating spiritual masters. He always considers the spiritual master as his own parent and establish a relationship with the spiritual master in such a way that there is no difference between the Lord and the spiritual master himself. Even in certain cases, if the spiritual master is not up to the mark, an ideal disciple never considers any fault in the spiritual master. He always continues to serve the spiritual master as before. There are cases when the spiritual master falls down, but it is the duty of the disciple that he continues to serve the spiritual master in the mood of surrender. The Lord always cares for such a disciple, and if there are any discrepancies in the relationship between the spiritual master and the disciple, the Lord always saves the disciple who is in the right mood. The spiritual master has to be always worshipped by the disciple in his heart, and that is the secret of success in devotional service. Text 45. Guru Krishna Rupa Hana Shastrera Pramane Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karena Bhaktagane. Translation. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is not different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his devotees. It is also possible that in the path of spiritual life, the disciple may have many instructing spiritual masters. If the disciple considers all the spiritual masters as expansion of Krishna, there is no question of failure on the part of the disciple. The disciple will be ultimately led to Krishna and there will be success in his spiritual life. Text 46. Acharya mam vijnayan navamanyate karchit namartya buddhya suyeta sarvadevo mayo guru. Translation. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. When a disciple embarks on the spiritual path, all depends on the sincerity of the spiritual seeker. When the spiritual seeker is in real search of the Lord, an Acharya advents. The relationship of the Acharya and the disciple is even superior to the relationship between the ideal mother and her son. The Acharya is one who does acharan or who follows all the religious principles that is required in the service of the Lord. A person who does not follow what he preaches can never be an Acharya. A disciple who is sincere on the path of devotional service is sure to meet an Acharya, a person whose precepts and action follow the same route. The disciple who is under the care of such an Acharya is to be considered to be under the direct tutelage of the Lord himself. A disciple who considers the Acharya as his all will definitely grow in his devotional service, and he will see that the entire representation of the material world will slowly become spiritual as his service to the spiritual master and the Lord matures. Text 47. Shiksha Guru ke tajani Krishnera Swarupa Antaryami Bhakta Shrestha Yei Doi Rupa. Translation. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. Here, the author says that the one who is sitting in our heart as Paramatma manifests himself in the external world as our instructing spiritual master. One can be very sure that he is on right path if The inspiration given by the Paramatma in the heart and the instructions of the instructing spiritual master are in conjunction. Thus, the instructing spiritual master is the reflection of the Paramatma in one's heart. Text 48. Naivopayanti apachitam kavayas brahma yusapi kritam vriddha mudasmarantaha yontair bahistanu bhrutam ashubham vidunvan acharya chaitya vapusha swagatim vyanakti. Translation. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma, for you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. This verse has emphasized the previous verse, saying that the Paramatma and the instructing spiritual master are one and the same. Krishna has bestowed his infinite mercy on a person who has taken the first step to go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus he sends an instructing spiritual master to lead the way. Text 49. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te. Translation. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. This is a verse from Bhagavad Gita. The Lord says that anybody with sincere devotion to the Lord, who intends to know the Lord, that intelligence is given by the Lord himself, and the Lord provides all the paraphernalia that is required to understand the Supreme Lord. Text 50. Yatha Brahmena Bhagavan Swayam Upadeshyanu Bhavitavan. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam Bhagavan, taught Brahma and made him self-realized. It is very clear that the Lord gives the intelligence to even Brahma, what to talk of normal mortals like our own selves. Sri Brahma, when he advented from the lotus flower which came from the navel of Sri Mahavishnu, he did not know what to do. At that time, the Lord inspired Sri Brahma to perform tapas, or tapaha was the word that Brahma heard when he had closed his eyes and concentrated. Tapaha means to meditate. When Sri Brahma meditated, Lord Vishnu inspired him to start creation. Thus, the basic knowledge of any kind is provided to us by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 51. Jnanam parama guhyam me yad vijnana samanvitam sarahasyam tad angam cha grahana gaditam maya. Translation. Please hear attentively what I shall speak to you, for transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific but also full of mysteries. Transcendental knowledge of Krishna is deeper than the deepest. One cannot understand the Supreme Lord by one's own effort. One has to realize that one is completely dependent on material nature when one is without the support of the Lord. One can only be either under Maya or under the power of Krishna. There is no third alternative. One can mature into a devotee by surrendering oneself to the spiritual master who is adept in the science of Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna is not easy. The path is arduous, but as one surrenders one's efforts and then one's own life, Krishna makes it very easy for one to understand the supreme truth. There are 9 ways to understand Krishna. Hearing, chanting, and remembering form the basis of one's spiritual life, especially in Krishna consciousness. Hearing means one has to constantly hear about the Lord's glories, the Lord's pastimes, and the Lord's names. By constant hearing, one will be inspired to chant the holy name. One will be also inspired to speak about the Lord and even propagate the Lord's glory to others. When one constantly does chanting and hearing, one will be then remembering the Lord during the entire day. When one is adept in hearing and chanting the holy name, one will remember the Lord at all times. The other aspects of devotional service are just an extension of these first three processes. One has to ensure that one engages his senses in the service of the Lord. The most important sensory organ is the mind. If the mind is not suitably engaged in the service of the Lord, engaging the other senses will be a futile effort. It is very important that as one engages the other senses in the service of the Lord and thus purifies it, one has to always engage the mind at all times. The source of devotional knowledge can always be the mind. The other senses are only supportive features. Unless the mind is completely infused in the devotional service of the Lord, the engaging the other senses will only mean that externally there are some actions being done, but internally there is no absorption in the Lord's activities. As one engages one's mind very deeply, there will be realizations that will be given to one through the inspiration of the spiritual master and the Chaitya Guru. As one's realizations becomes more vivid and one becomes more mature in devotional service, one starts developing different types of relationships with the Lord. The different relationships with the Lord can be in the mood of a friend, a servant, the mood of parenthood, or the mood of conjugal love. These are the four rasas which are present in the Lord, and the Lord manifests these rasas in one's heart who is very sincere. As these rasas emanate in the heart of the spiritual seeker, the various karmic bondings of the seeker are broken. One transcends to the position of a pure devotee as one engages in bhajana. Text 52. Yavan aham yatha bhavo yad rupa guna karmakah tathaiva tattva vijnanam astute mat anugrahat. Translation. By my causeless mercy, be enlightened in truth about my personality, manifestations, qualities and pastimes. Krishna consciousness is a very scientific process. There are various means by which one can approach the Supreme Lord. But the various approaches do not lead one to the personality of Godhead. Most of the paths of yoga lead one to the attributeless part of the Supreme Lord, which is the Brahman. One who follows various spiritual practices without accepting the personal form of the Lord is not fit to be called a devotee. A devotee is one who has full faith on the personality of Godhead, the personal form of the Lord. Lord Krishna says that it is very difficult to attain his personal form. Only a person who is completely surrendered to a spiritual master who recognizes the personal form of the Lord can meet with success. The Lord says that his qualities and his actions are unparalleled, and it is very difficult for one to have faith or believe in the activities of the Lord. One may even dump the activities of the Lord, saying that this is hearsay, and all the activities performed during the Dwapar Yuga by Supreme Lord Krishna is mythology. The Western philosophers and the Western thinkers feel that India is full of mythology. There is no truth in the advent of Lord Ramachandra or Lord Krishna, and that these are just characters which are enriched by the figment of imagination. One who is of this thought can never know the Supreme Lord. The lifting of Mount Govardhana in Vrindavan is a superhuman effort. People cannot believe that a child which is 6 years old can lift Govardhana on his little finger. Lord Krishna has done unparalleled activities where only the Brajavasis of Vrindavana completely trusted him and recognized him as their own. The one only with the mood of a Brajavasi can completely understand the Supreme Lord. These unparalleled activities of the Lord are very sweet and sublime in nature. One who has surrendered to the Supreme Lord can know the Supreme Lord by the intelligence provided by the Lord. The knowledge of the Lord cannot come from a bottom-up approach. One cannot use one's intelligence to understand how the Lord manifested so many pastimes and thus entertained his devotees. The one who has completely surrendered to the higher power, to his Guru and the Supreme Lord, can understand the Lord by the mercy of the Lord himself. No amount of wild guessing or speculation can lead one to the right path. Almost 90 to 95% people reject the Supreme Lord. They feel that the Lord is an ordinary person like us and the stories related to him are all hearsay. One boasts of scientific progress, but what is the use of such science which cannot give us the ultimate? Science is crippled in its own way, and the bottom-up approach of science will never lead science anywhere. Scientific theory like the Darwin's theory of evolution are just a disturbance in society. It can never lead man to the ultimate purpose and goal of life. One has to completely surrender to the will of the Lord and apply one's intelligence in the scientific study of the great scriptures like the Ramayana and the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then with the will of the spiritual master, one can easily understand the unparalleled activities of the Lord. When the Lord provides the intelligence to understand his infinite glories, one is immediately positioned in the highest planetary system of Golok. One will be able to realize all the glories of the Lord in the split of a second by the causeless mercy of the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord. So why waste time in all the useless pursuits of life which leads one only into the whirlpool of material life which leads nowhere? One has to completely surrender oneself to the will of the Lord and engage in his devotional service. Hari Bol.